Yo, what's up, brother?
Oh, hi, what's up? All right.
I see you got Vivek on your screen, so I figure I'd jump in here and see what you think about this guy.
Trump Jr., you mean?
Think he's got a chance? He's in second place now in some polls.
You know what? I don't actually. You know why? You ready for my incredibly shallow political analysis?
Because he's brown? No, I'm
No.
just kidding.
I think it's because I actually don't think the Republicans would care as much about that. I think it's because he doesn't have snappy comebacks on stage.
He does seem to be a little giggly on stage and kind of overwhelmed by the whole thing, but that
Yeah,
was his first debate ever
it
on there.
was, yeah, and he could improve. But I think an important thing about Trump was actually his banter, because this is else you can like about him. And I think Vivek actually legitimately, I think he needs to go watch like some insult comics or whatever, and he needs to work on that because he had a lot of snapbacks to other people, and they were all bad. I think if he had a couple that were more memorable, I think he would have performed significantly better. But man, yeah, his endurance too. He got ran into the ground in the last half of that debate. He started off strong, and I was saying like I think this guy seems like he's about to have a breakout performance. This is going to be amazing, and it still was good for him, but nowhere near as good as it could have been. He got ran into the ground by Pence, by Nikki Haley, by Chris Christie. I think like yeah, it was
Yeah.
brutal at the end for him.
Yeah, Nikki Haley kicked his teeth in with the foreign policy stuff, saying, "You have
Um,
no experience, and it shows." And the crowd loved it. They roared.
mhm.
Chris Christie called him a wannabe Obama with the skinny guy
Oh,
with
even
the
worse.
weird
He was like,
name.
"Yeah, the last time a guy came on stage, blah blah blah, was Barack Obama." That was a good one from Chris Christie. Yeah, yeah. He needs to work on his comebacks if he's going to be like an insult comic like Trump wants to be. Yeah.
I think he did well because he was basically substituting for Trump. Since Trump wasn't there, he played the role of Trump that night, and the Trump base kind of fell in love with him. But now that he's moving up to second place, I'm
Hmm.
wondering when Trump's going to turn on him, and you know it's going to get nasty. This guy is Hindu. He took money from George Soros. He's got a also he didn't vote till his 30s. He didn't even vote for Trump in 2016. This guy is weird as hell, man.
You want a bold guess for me? I don't think
Want a
he's.
what?
You want a bold
Oh,
guess for
guess.
me? Um,
Okay.
I think he's going to continue to do pretty well. I think this is, by the way, incredibly premature. So, anything can happen, obviously. But
Right.
I don't think he can win. I mean, we'll see what happens, but it doesn't seem like it. But I think he's going to continue to do well. I think he's going to divide the field. If him and Trump are polling about 50% collectively and there aren't any other huge standout candidates or whatever, I think he just like concedes and then takes a position in Trump's administration. I think that's like the goal. Because any
I
viewer from
agree.
Vivek right now that drops off voter seems for sure going to go to Trump. That'd be my guess.
I think so too. He doesn't seem to have much of a base, if anything. It's just he's backing up Trump. He claims he's going to pardon Trump on day one, so he's just kissing Trump's. But here's the thing, and I'm curious what you think. His star is rising. He's surging, and at some point, Trump's not going to like that. Trump's going to be like, "What's with this freaking guy, man, getting all this attention?" I wonder if he turns on him. That's what I'm thinking. How? Because it feels like it's out of control right now. He's rising too quickly.
I mean, like these debates, it's arguable whether these debates have literally any influence whatsoever over the votes at the end of the day. I don't think that
True.
off of one debate anything matters, right? Like, look at the last Democratic primary. There were like five different candidates who had their time in the sun. Where I think even at one point, I think even Pete Buttigieg looked like he might be a winner. Kamala Harris for sure did after she looked like almost nuked Biden off stage. Everybody has like their moments in these debates, but how long the longevity is like highly questionable. They usually return to a mean pretty quickly after a week or two. Yeah,
Okay, so do you think Trump shows up for debate number two, feeling like he missed out this time?
I don't think he will until a couple people drop out. That'd be my guess, or until they make the requirements a bit more stringent. That'd be my guess.
Well, the next debate, you have to have 50,000 donators and you have to have 3% in a couple of polls. And your mayor just dropped out. How do you feel about that?
Um, which one is my mayor? I should know this.
Francis Suarez, the only Hispanic in the race, man.
He wasn't in the last debate, was he?
Nah, he didn't make the stage. Feels bad.
Oh, I don't think that matters much.
I think there'll be like two less people up there on stage because of that 3% requirement. And so now we'll be down to like six. And then I wonder if Trump feels like getting up there. And plus, Vivek's going to get baited into talking on Trump pretty soon.
Will he? He seemed like he towed the line pretty well last time, no?
Yeah, but he keeps getting asked, "Why you? Why you?" And he's getting a lot of media attention now. Did you? I see you got this Sitch and Adam and or whatever State of the Union thing here from CNN. But did you watch the Chuck Todd and Meet the Press interview he did this weekend?
Who?
Chuck Todd Meet the Press?
No,
The NBC.
Who
Oh,
are you talking
Vivek.
about? Oh, no, I haven't seen it. No, I
Vivek's
haven't.
interview.
No.
I would check that out because Chuck Todd pressed him on some other issues. I thought this was kind of soy what they did on CNN, like the KKK thing. I don't know. I don't care about that.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen it. Yeah, hopefully they're not like KKK id poll. It's probably not going to play as well, but
Right. I thought it was just cheesy. Now, but the other thing is too is like, who's to say Trump's going to survive? I mean, the trials are looking like they're going to happen next year. And
I thought Georgia really
means
wanted to push for theirs pretty soon, is what I heard.
October 23rd for a couple of people. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish there was
This
like
year.
polling data to support this. This is just an intuition I have, and I wish I could justify this somehow. But I feel like, you know what people keep saying, every time you show a mugshot, it just makes Trump's base love him more and more, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that's true. I think that this is what I feel like is happening. Every time some new wacky happens with Trump, it makes his base love him even more. But I think that base is getting slightly smaller. That's my feeling. So like the true diehard Trump fans are gonna like him every time he runs into like this, but there's gonna be fewer and fewer of them every single time it happens. That's my guess, but I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, I mean, it gets weird. It gets more alienating the more cases he stacks up and the more bad stuff comes out. And I think some of these people are going to start flipping. And then it's like, okay, now there's some serious facts out there that are implicating Trump. Plus that obstruction case, the subsequent indictment in the documents case. I mean, the 2020 case is nasty, but that document case is open and shut. And that is happening next year.
Wait,
know,
when
unless
you say
they
the
can-
documents one, are you talking about the weird thing in New York, or are you talking about in Florida?
Florida,
Oh, yeah, that's
open and shut.
wild. But they basically they just rely on the whataboutism and not understanding like because they go like, well, what about when Biden and Pence had documents? I think even Rob Noor, I think, has played that one up.
Well, the Pence investigation is closed, but they need to close that Biden one. It's been going since January. This guy, Robert Hur, is a special counsel that nobody knows about. But I think he's going to wrap that up, and then he'll come out and say what he found, which will be, I found some phone records from Biden's time as vice president. Who gives a because there can be anything as classified documents. So right now the right is running crazy, saying basically Biden had the same stuff Trump had, which is we don't have any proof of that at all.
Completely absurd, yeah.
But I mean, what I'm saying though ultimately is Trump could be found guilty and pending going to prison. Though I don't know if he's going to spend time in prison. They probably put him on house arrest in Mar-a-Lago.
Oof. For the
if that's the
documents
case,
I feel like weren't there a couple of minimum sentencing guidelines for that were prison time?
I don't know if there's minimum. I think the only one that has minimums is the RICO charges in Georgia, which is 5 years. But yeah, but he's facing like 10, 20 years on those documents charges for sure. But the thing is, like, he could be convicted and he could be heading to jail. And so I wonder if the RNC says, dude, we're not going to win if we have a guy that's going to prison. Like, it's just impossible. You know, I think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, the RNC doesn't want him. That's hard, right? You really
Right.
don't want, if you're a Republican, you don't want Trump anyway. Because if you run a candidate, there's two huge issues, I think. And nobody talked about the second one. I don't know why. Maybe it's not as big an issue as I make it. The first one is that Trump has already lost to Biden, right? So that's already dog. Why would you run the same candidate? Nothing substantial has changed to worsen Biden's image. If anything, I would argue it seems like it's gotten a bit better. We're not in World War III and all the inflation largely been okay, and the major legislation. So Biden's image, I don't think has gotten worse, and then Trump's image definitely has not gotten better. Now, whether the documents have made it worse or not, right? So running Trump against Biden again seems. Then two, let's say Trump were to win. Now you've got another presidential election you've got to fight for in 4 years. He's a first-term lame duck president because he can't run again, right? Because he's already had, which is also really. Why would you want to? If this was your moment to win a candidate against Biden, you're going to pick a guy who can only be one time in office.
No, you're not going to spend $2 billion to get a guy elected for 4 years. But Trump has an excuse. He has a retort to that. He says, I've already been there, and I only need 6 months. I don't need 8 years. I've got it all figured out. I was advised by people last time. This time, I'll destroy the administrative state, as he calls it, headed by Dr. Fauci and his ilk. But, you know, that's just Trump's nonsense. He says he's going to end the Ukraine war in 24 hours, too.
Yeah.
But I agree.
Know his plan is for that, but yeah. I mean, like, he's already been in office and he didn't do anything. So what are you gonna? Yeah.
Nah, he's toast. I think the Republicans are screwed with Trump at the top of the ticket. It's gonna drag them down. Then you got characters like George Santos that everybody forgot about, and a bunch of Trump nominees are gonna get on the ballot with him. I actually think it's gonna be a bit of a bloodbath for the GOP.
Yeah, I mean, their whole party is in a bloodbath right now, right?
It's not looking pretty, yeah.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.